follows this on the film Trap, the new M Night Shyamalan film, which is bloody awful, but in a fun way. This is Shyamalan's a weird character. He can do good stuff like Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, but he can do complete schlock as well, and I don't think he has any quality control. And he writes his stuff and just makes it, and he doesn't really look at, does this need more work? I don't think anyone telling him that needs more work. That's not ready yet. I think he just does the script and goes and shoots it. And this is a film where it was one of those ones where, yes, someone should have said this needs more work. It's not quite the same level as The Happening for Wonderful Disaster, like where the film's mistakes are so wrong that the film's amazing. And it's not the total disaster of an After Earth where you're watching the film and going, what am I watching? This is unwatchable. It's somewhere in between. It's got that kind of lady in the water thing where you find yourself feeling you hate watching the film most of the time, but you're never going to forget the film. And you feel bad. It's one of those films that's like, you feel bad for the actors involved because they're trying. Most of them are doing good performances. Like Josh Hartnett really goes all out to play this lead character who's a serial killer who's trying to avoid getting caught. I mean, he really commits, and that's when a film really delivers on a bad movie level, where the actors are committed even though the thing they're in is completely flawed. So this is a film basically where your lead character's a moron. They try to create him, suggest he's like a Hannibal Lecter type devious villain who's been trapped and he's going to find his way out of it somehow. It doesn't work because this character's a moron. He gets caught out on the most insane ways ever, and basically there's a loophole in the film later on where you realise one character can be if one phone call and he would have been caught before the film started. And it's like, or why not call? Because they want the film to go. So basically it's with this serial killer who's taking his daughter to a concert. Now the concert they do is in this big stadium area, but it's indoor one. It's not like a Wembley thing. It's much more an indoor concert hall. The problem with it is it looks pretty cheap. It looks like it's a concert done on the level of like a video game conference rather than a concert that you imagine being like really something. It just looks like lots of chairs are put out the way you'd see in a conference somewhere. So you don't really get a sense of this being an epic concert in the first place. It feels like it's like a lower budget concert. But probably because they couldn't afford to actually hire people for a real concert. They probably would have chucked the budget way up. So it ends up feeling like it's a small concert. And basically the idea is they know the serial killer's in the building and have to find him. And the serial killer realises they're after him. He manages to con someone and information out of somebody, and then he's going to try and find a way out of it. Now the problem with the film is the setups that there's a serial killer in the building and you have to try and find out who all the men are in the building with daughters, when basically it just feels weird that so many men with daughters going to doing a concert that is basically for teenage girls. Most guys would not take their daughter to that. They would drop them off and then say, I'll come back at a certain time and pick you up. So that's instantly weird. It's not just that he went, but it's also that all these other guys went as well. It's like, that's weird. Every so often a guy will go do that if he's with his wife and the family, but going by himself to do a concert with his daughter, doesn't happen very often. Usually it's the mum that takes the daughter to that kind of concert. And the daughters don't like their dad taking to those kind of concerts because they're going to be screaming their heads off. And it's like, it's not your kind of thing. Just go away and leave me alone. It's that kind of thing. So already there's something wrong there. The size of the concert, plus a dad taking a daughter to that kind of concert, that just feels like weird. And also lots of dads doing that, and there's so many of them doing that you can't spot the killer instantly if you've been tipped off as a serial killer taking his daughter to a concert. So there's that issue there. That problem there. The other problem is that Josh Hartnett's character goes around the concert for the first half of the film, and everything he tries doesn't work because he finds that, oh, they've already thought of that. In this kind of film, where it's like escape from some bit of danger, the main thing you have to have is ingenuity as a writer. And this film has no ingenuity. Basically, it's like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. And you try to set this character up as someone who's formidable in intellect and who's lots of ideas that will really work and really make you scared of him. You don't, because everything he thinks of is instantly not going to work. And his way out of it eventually is fairly mediocre, and leads to other problems in the second half of the film for him. And it's like, okay, well, the character didn't get out of this situation in a really inventive way, so I don't feel like he's that inventive of a villain. And all of the writer really has a clue how to write this character. Instead, he just feels like this slub who likes killing people and he's going to get caught. So the setup doesn't work, and all the characters around him that he runs into are overdone. And in the first half of the film, Shyamalan's daughter plays the pop star. Obviously, he's trying to show off his daughter, but half the time it feels a concert film for his daughter rather than a suspense movie. And it's also the film shot in a very TV movie way. You think, wait, okay, you have a concert. Let's see how inventive you can get with this visually to make this really cook. None of that. It's bland. It's really blandly shot. There's just nothing there, and there's no emotion to the shots either. Like a sense of interiority of the character with the visuals to make you connected to the character, even though he's a serial killer. There's none of that. It's just distance, and it's like, I'm bored watching this, and there's nothing in these shots to set up suspense. It's just like very basic suspense beats been set up, and then they get dissolved pretty quickly. Like, he goes into this place where there's cops to find out about the cops, and the main takeaway is that he goes in there and he makes someone a cup of coffee. He makes a cup of coffee for himself and tells someone what sugar is, and at the end he nicks a microphone, walkie-talkie. But it feels like if you're going to do that, there should be something else there that's much more important that he finds out. And there's always this thing where he ends up going to this place and has to get himself back out of the situation because he should have figured out in advance what the problem was if he's this supposedly great serial killer. He's just this guy who's just not very good. So you've got this guy who isn't scary and who is not inventive, and you've got a film that's visually inert, and you've got lots of scenes happening, but I just found myself getting more and more annoyed by it rather than excited by anything, because it was just badly shot and badly set up, and the only thing worked with Josh Hartnett really doing his best to make this thing work by suggesting someone who's creepy and weird and but also can hide it, and is like, he's so much better in the film he's in. Now the area of the film where it goes from this is tedious to, oh my god, this is what the hell is this, is the second half, where it gets both worse and better, in a sense of it gets worse but it's better for the fun. So he gets out by kidnapping the pop star. Yeah. She walks him out and the police don't take his information, even though the whole point of the thing is they take everyone's information. And it's like, and she's helped the cops by doing this concert to find out this information. So why would you know, he's threatening her to get out, a thing like that. But it's also like she's got cops all around with guns. All she should do is walk with them and say, as she gets close to them, he's a killer, and run like hell. She never does it. She just takes them through the things and goes into the car. And it's like, that's stupid. That's really stupid. That's why this plan would never work in anything resembling real life. But it's so dumb that it's actually enjoyable, because it's like, oh my god, they actually did that in the film. And then the film gets even crazier, where instead of just getting rid of these people out of the car and saying, okay, we'll get the footage from cameras and we've got his face somewhere and it'll be fine, she gets someone invited back to their house. You know, now the thing is, he's threatening her with, oh, I've got this guy in a, you know, in this torture chamber, and if you don't go along with me, he will die. But for longer term, isn't it easier just to say, well, one guy's going to die, but he's going to get caught, so it's better for everybody? There's that thing, it's like, it's so stupid. It's like, they don't resolve that. They just have it as like, oh, this must be so threatening to her, and it's like, nah, I'd still tell on you. It just doesn't work. And if she's trying to save this guy, even though she never knows him, it's meant to suggest, oh, she's actually much nicer than you'd think for a pop star. But the problem is, the actress can't act. It's someone's daughter, she's not a good actress. She's got, like, it's that thing of that the girl from Acolyte, where it's like one expression. It's like for all occasions. And B, the kind of just the logic of it, hugging back home, and then suddenly she has to talking to the wife, played by Alison Pill, who's also trying her best within a stupid film, and also she has to do a solo on the family piano at a certain point as well, to show Shyamalan can show his daughter even more. And it's like, what the hell's going on in this film? It's so stupid at this point, but it's kind of, at this point it's really compulsive. It's like, how far off the road is this film going to go? How dumb is it going to get? And trust me, it gets dumber. It does it. It's like every move it makes is dumber. So she managed to steal Hartnett's phone and contact the guy who's on the other side, who's in the torture thing, and she gets details from him of what he remembers. Then she goes online and says that to her fans, and can someone please help him? And can someone send the police to this location? Blah blah blah. Yeah, finally realised, I'll get the police. Now there's meant to be this thing where outside you don't know what he's doing with his family, because suddenly she's now the central character and he's not. This film changes central character continuously. Like, it's a killer, then it's her, then it's someone else, then it's back to killer at some point. It's like, it just keeps on changing who is the central character in a way that's meant to evoke Hitchcock, but it just feels confused. But this whole thing is, somehow from a few clues, they work out where the guy is and they save him in about 10 minutes. Is the dumbest thing ever. But it's so dumb, it's enjoyable, because it's like, oh my god, I cannot believe they did this. This is so wrong. This is like, this whole script is like someone should have said to him, this doesn't work. None of this works. This is just a bunch of stuff you come up with that does not work. So then, it's hard to give a straight face for some of this stuff. So then, all the police arrive, and her and the family get out. It turns out the family's fine. Hartnett is trapped in the house, but of course he's got a little cubby hole in the house he escapes through, and then he kidnaps the pop star in her limousine. He takes over the limousine from the driver. He's going to get revenge on the pop star. Even though there's tons of police around, no one seems to catch him from going from behind the house to the limo, even though there's cops everywhere. And then we would just say, who's that guy over there? What's he wandering towards the limo for? It's almost like he can just project himself to different locations. And so we're setting us up where she's handcuffed to the inside the limo, and he's driving her. He's going to get revenge on her for what she did. She easily escapes. They get into a traffic jam, and she easily escapes and escapes into the thing because she's so famous. All the fans come around her, and he escapes. And this limo is like, well, why did you kidnap in the first place? You're not going to do anything with this. This is just dumb. And the character's just dumb for trying to get her when he could just be escaping. And it's like, oh, this is just dumb as hell. This film is insanely stupid. But again, because it's gone so far at this point, it's like, okay, how much dumber can this film get? Trust me, it gets dumber. It's him kidnapping the pop star for a whole minute and going nowhere is not as dumb as this film's going to get. Right, so, get this. After all this, she escapes and she goes and finds the guy who she saved and they have a hug. And then she's at the film. So they'll set her up as the new character, but now she's at the film. Then now we're back to Hartnett and his wife. And he goes back to his family home, where his wife is. And of course, it's a police trap, but it's allowing them to have a conversation where he thinks he's got her beat, and turns out she's put stuff in a pie she gave him that he, for some reason, ate before he's going to kill her. And it turns out something in that will knock him out. You see the problem with this character. Like you'd fall for that. Also, he's going back to his home where the police are obviously going to be there. So as he's trying to kill her, the police come in to capture him. Yeah, he goes back to his house, he's caught. He keeps on doing things that would get him caught. He's meant to be a scary killer, and he keeps on doing the dumbest things possible. Then, as they're going out, he sees his son's bike, and he pulls it up, because it was off, knocked over, and he pulls it up. And then he wanders away, and you're thinking, oh, a bit of sentimentality. Of course, he's taking someone from the bike to unscrew his handcuffs when he's back in the back of the truck. So you finally see the end of it. He's unlocked the handcuffs, and he's smelling at the cameras after saying he's going to escape again. Oh my god! He's unlocked. He's still in the van. He's going to take him to a police station. There's no. This film is so stupid. It turns out the wife had a clue he was a killer, and instead of phoning the police, she just phoned a clue where he'd be that caused all this stuff to happen. And it's like, Jesus Christ, that's weak logic. I mean, when I was watching the first half, I was like, I wonder what nonsense they're going to have for why they know he's here. And that was the weakest possible thing they could have done. And the whole film's like that. It's like everything. It's like Shyamalan had a bunch of stuff he wanted to do, and he had the most basic explanation of why he get from A to B to C. And he was trying to set up a super serious, super scary killer, but he couldn't. He wasn't smart enough to actually have reasons why this killer could do anything impressive, so he just made him dumb. Or assumed that the audience would be dumb enough to think this guy's smart, even though he makes every possible mistake. You know, and it's like, I mean, it's just a film so stupid that you start to admire it going for it after a while, because it's like every moment it gets dumber, every moment it gets sillier and stupider, and it's like it's a pure Shyamalan weird one, like The Happening, where you just have to admire how stupid it is and how tacky it is. And it's like, he has no quality control. He just writes stuff and he has no idea what's good and what's bad. He just writes stuff and just hopes the best. This one was, when you saw the trailer, I saw the trailer, I thought, this is really dumb, but I wonder if it's smarter than it seems. No, it's actually stupider than it seems. It's so much stupider than it seems, but in a good way, because you can't quite believe, you're trying to keep your jaw from the floor for half the film, and it's like, wow. And the amazing thing at the end is the final scene between Hartnett and Alison Pill, his man and wife, and he's got a hatchet, he's going to kill her with it. they're doing their best to make this thing work, and they're saying the most absurd stuff and doing the most absurd things, and it's like, that's what makes a true great bad movie, is like when the actors are really trying and there's no hope because the person in charge of it is brain dead. Well, that's what it feels like in this film. Like, the director's going brain dead. It's like, why would you do this film? Why would you have all these things happen? It's just so dumb, but enjoyably so, because it's like, wow, Shyamalan's love it again. I kind of look forward to these really bad Shyamalan films because in some ways they're more fun than the good ones. You know, it's just enjoyable to watch how bad he gets sometimes, how insane he gets sometimes. So, yeah, if you want a really good bad film, this is it. You know, it's perfect in its stupidity. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you later. That's me for now. Bye-bye.